And welcome. Thank you for joining us on Enyimba TV News. My name is Michael Oni. The headlines. Oil marketers threatens closure of filling stations over debts by government. Federal government inaugurates Port Harcourt-ABA rail project as train service commences. Abia State House of Assembly reconvenes to address security concerns. These and other stories plus foreign, business and sports shortly. You can subscribe to our YouTube page, that's Enyimba TV, for more videos like this. Do not forget to click on the notification button. And then the news in detail. Federal government has declared today, Wednesday, 1st of May 2024, as a public holiday to mark this year's Workers' Day event. Nigeria's Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, made this declaration according to the ministry's permanent secretary, Aishatu Indayako. Dr. Tunji-Ojo, who made the declaration on behalf of the federal government, reiterated the need for excellence, efficiency, and equity in all spheres of labor, reaffirming the President Bola Tinubu's administration's commitment to fostering a culture of innovation, productivity, and inclusivity in the workplace. Well, still talking about workers now, federal government has approved a 25 to 35% increase in the salary structures of police officers, the armed forces, public servants, among others. It also announced this through the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, stating that the salary raise takes effect from the 1st of January 2024. In a statement issued by its head of press, Emmanuel Njoku, the Commission said the approved increase of 35% in salaries for civil servants on the remaining 6 consolidated salary structures. Enyimba TV recalled that those in the tertiary education and health sectors had already received their increases, which involved consolidated university academic salary structure and consolidated tertiary institution salary structure for universities. Away from labor matters to the information sector, where the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, has decried the low budgetary allocation for the ministry in the 2024 budget. The minister stated this when he received members of the House of Representatives Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values, led by its chairman, Honorable Olushola Fatoba, who came for an oversight function at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. Idris, however, commended the committee and the executive for its commitment in ensuring that the ministry gets appropriate funding through supplementary budget. Federal government says it will repatriate no fewer than 6,000 Nigerian refugees from Chad and Cameroon. Federal Commissioner of the National Commission for Refugee, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Tijani Ahmed, disclosed this in Abuja at the end of a technical working group meeting on the voluntary repatriation of Nigerian refugees. He said about 21,000 Nigerian refugees were in Chad, while Cameroon has 14,000 others. Ahmed added that 6,000 people will be returned from Chad, while the number to be repatriated from Cameroon will be determined before the start of the exercise, which is expected to be concluded in the next 2 months. Let's go straight to the oil and gas sector, where the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has threatened to cripple the supply of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, over non-payment of 200 billion naira bridging claims. The threat comes following the current nationwide scarcity, which has seen prices of petrol surge to between 610 naira and 800 naira at the pump, and between 1,000 naira and 1,200 naira at black market. The association's unit chairman and spokesperson, Aba Depot, Mazi Oliver Okolo, who made this threat, said it is with the backing of the IPMAN's national leadership. He claimed that the debt is being owed by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. Okolo said that the Regulatory Commission failed to pay the 200 billion naira debt despite a directive for payment from the Petroleum Minister Oil, Heineken Lopobiri. The IPMAN Depot chairman claimed that since the directive by the minister in the February 2024, only 13 billion naira had been paid to their members, saying that the unpaid claim had crippled their businesses. We're still in the oil and gas sector. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is insisting there is a sufficient supply of petrol in the country. Senior officials of the NNPC Limited, alongside the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, disclosed this during a tour of petrol stations in Abuja to inspect and ascertain the availability of products in the stations. Speaking to Enyimba TV, Executive Vice President Downstream NNPC Limited, Adedapo Shego, said that a 3-day disruption in the distribution is due to logistical issues, which has since been resolved. We're still in the oil and gas sector. Management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, says the rehabilitation of Kaduna Refining and Petrochemicals Company will be completed by the end of 2024 after years of being shut down due to lack of maintenance. The managing director of the Kaduna Refinery, Mustafa Sungugu, disclosed this during an oversight visit to the refinery by members of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Petroleum Downstream, led by Senator Ifeanyi Ubah. He explained that the 110,000 barrel per day refinery will start producing at 60% capacity by the end of the year, while full production will take place subsequently. On his part, Senator Ubah said that the oversight visit is part of the collaborative effort of the President Bola Tinubu administration and the National Assembly to ensure that all the nation's refineries are brought back to life and consequently enable the country to end the importation of petroleum products. The Kaduna Refinery was established in 1980 to supply petroleum products to Nigeria's northern region, with a capacity of producing 110,000 barrels per day of crude oil. It was last maintained in 2008 and is currently undergoing a quick fix maintenance with a projected restart of production before the end of the year. Senate has resumed plenary after 6 weeks of recess in the newly renovated hallowed chamber, opened over 2 years after the reconstruction began. Shortly after the regular announcement by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, a heated argument ensued between some ranking members over seating arrangement. 3 senators engaged in heated argument: Senator Danjuma Goje, who is a 4-time ranking senator representing Gombe Central, and Shahabi Yau, senator representing Zamfara North, expressing displeasure over the back seats assigned to them and complained to the majority leader, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele. After the argument, Kawu Sumaila, senator representing Kano South, called for a point of order but was ignored. The President of the Senate doused the tension after a slightly prolonged verbal engagement with Bamidele, Yau and Goje at the center, while he called on the aggrieved senators to approach the chair to diffuse the anger, after which he read his welcome address. According to the standing rules of the upper chamber, senators sit according to ranking, but the arrangement that aggrieved senators met fell short of their expectations. We're returning to the National Assembly, but this time in the lower chamber. House of Representatives has summoned the Minister of Petroleum Resources over the lingering fuel scarcity across the country. The resolution to summon the minister was a sequel to a motion of urgent public importance moved by Shehu Ajilo after the resumption of the House from a 40-day break. Moving the motion, Mr. Ajilo said the lingering petrol scarcity is causing additional hardship for Nigerians. On electricity tariff, considering the motion of urgent public importance by a member from Ebonyi State, Kama Nkenkama, the House called on the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to suspend forthwith the implementation of the new electricity tariff nationwide. Governors of the 19 northern states are rallying against increasing kidnapping, out-of-school children, insecurity and other problems, militating against the progress of the region, describing the situation as an unacceptable reality that must be tackled head-on. At their meeting, the chairman, Northern States Governors Forum, and the governor of Gombe State, Muhammadu Yahaya, said for the northern region to get out of perennial security challenges, it must develop its economic and human capacity, declaring that a long-term economic development is paramount to tackling insecurity in the region. Among the attendees are governors from Kaduna, Borno, Gombe, Nasarawa, Bauchi, along with deputy governors from Yobe, Sokoto, Kano, and Jigawa. The meeting follows closely on the heels of a recent symposium on peace and security in the northern Nigeria, where 10 governors from the northwest and north central regions participated in a two-day event organized by the United States Institute of Peace in Washington, D.C. Well, now let's go straight to politics. In neighboring Rivers State, there was confusion yesterday as two parallel executives of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Unga Ward 1 and Doni local government area of Rivers State exchanged words over the purported suspension of the member representing Andoni Opobo Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Awaji Inobek Abiante. A faction of the ward executive led by the chairman of the caretaker committee, Dike Barra, Ward Secretary Dokubo Jackson, and 12 others had earlier announced after a meeting at the party's office that it is suspending Abiante for anti-party activities. But in a counter move, another faction of the ward, led by its chairman and the ward secretary, Stephen Jumbo, declared the purported suspension as unlawful. Abiante is one of the federal lawmakers in the Grand Chamber of the National Assembly, loyal to the Rivers State Governor, Similaye Fubara. The PDP in Rivers State has been split into factions after Governor Fubara fell out with his predecessor and political godfather, Nyesom Wike. Federal government has inaugurated train operation in the Port Harcourt-ABA rail line for use by members of the public with 4 days free ride. Minister of Transportation, Senator Saidu Alkali, inaugurated services on the 62-kilometer Port Harcourt-ABA corridor at the railway station in Port Harcourt. The railway line will also link the ports in One, Bonny, and Port Harcourt to facilitate the evacuation of goods and sundry freight through the Eastern Corridor. Following the inaugural train ride from Port Harcourt to Aba, the Nigeria Railway Corporation has approved a free train ride for the general public from today, May 1st, to Saturday, May 4th. But the train will be departing Port Harcourt every day by 8 a.m. for Aba and will be departing Aba every day from Port Harcourt by 3 p.m., while full commercial operations will resume on the 7th of May 2024. Abia State House of Assembly reconvened to address insecurity concerns and advancing a bill to establish a Homeland Security Agency. The Speaker, Right Honorable Emmanuel Imerua, revealed a productive executive session with security heads, highlighting the House call for officer training, stricter disciplinary measures, and stakeholder town hall meetings to prevent future security incidents. The House significantly advanced the Abia State Homeland Security Agency Bill 2024, sponsored by Honorable Okoro Uchenna Kalu, by passing it for second reading. Proponents of the bill argued that it will address the state's long-standing insecurity issues, particularly in rural areas. The agency's potential benefits include collaboration with local communities for intelligence gathering and crime prevention. Enyimba TV Umahia correspondent Kingsley Chibike reports that the presentation of the report for the House Committee on Education on the relocation of the Abia State Polytechnic to Osisioma permanent site was deferred to a future legislative date, while the House adjourned to reconvene on Thursday, the 2nd of May 2024. On the foreign scene, Zimbabwe has introduced new banknotes and coins as all banks have received the local currency from the central bank for nationwide distribution. The highest denomination of the new currency, known as Zimbabwe Gold or ZiG, will be on the 200 ZiG note, valued at approximately $15. In accordance with directives from authorities, individuals will be permitted to withdraw up to 3,000 ZiG per week, while companies can withdraw up to 30,000 ZiG. Reports from local media suggest that there are no cash withdrawal limits for institutions such as parliament, courts, and international organizations. This move to introduce a new currency comes as the country grapples with escalating inflation, marking the latest efforts to stabilize the economy. Well, in business, the naira on Tuesday recovered from the previous day's lows, gaining 28 naira 50 kobo, that's 2.02% against the US dollar at the official market. The local currency has consistently depreciated against the dollar across official and unofficial foreign exchange markets since the last 2 weeks, following speculative activities and low liquidity. After trading on Tuesday, the naira appreciated as the dollar was quoted at 1,390 naira 96 kobo, stronger than 1,419 naira 11 kobo quoted on Monday at the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market. This comes as the external reserves, which gives the Central Bank of Nigeria the firepower to defend the naira, declined in April following the country's debt payment obligations and other interventions by the CBN. Data from the CBN showed that Nigeria's external reserves declined to $32.232 billion in April 29, 2024 from $33.570 recorded at the beginning of the month. In sports, Nigerian international goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie has written her name in the history books by becoming the first African and Nigerian player to be crowned the best goalkeeper in the French D1 Academia Women's League. The 23-year-old shot-stopper's remarkable achievement this season, including her penalty-saving heroics, cemented her status as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Nnadozie's penalty-saving prowess was unmatched this season, with the Nigerian international saving an impressive 7 penalties, the highest tally in Europe. Well, our sports story wraps it, but to end the news, here again are the main points. Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has threatened to cripple the supply of premium motor spirit, PMS, also known as petrol, over non-payment of 200 billion naira bridging claims. Federal government has inaugurated train operation on the Port Harcourt-ABA rail line for use by members of the public with 4 days free ride. We also told you that Abia State House of Assembly has reconvened to address security concerns and advance a bill to establish a Homeland Security Agency. Thank you so much for joining us on the news update on Enyimba TV. Do not forget to subscribe on YouTube, Enyimba TV, and also click on the notification button to enjoy videos like this. My name is Michael Oni. Do enjoy the rest of your day.